It is so incredibly important to stay relevant with what's happening in the news and what's going on around you. Just make sure you pay attention to the news, watch your local television stations if you can, and pay attention to your online media outlets. If there's something happening in the news that you know you can speak knowledgeably about, that's a great opportunity for your publicist to pitch you as an expert. As a publicist, we can pitch to different media outlets when different things are happening around the country. If it somehow aligns with the brand or somehow aligns with the person that we're representing, we can then pitch it to the media and pitch them as an expert or pitch them with a story. Local news really is only looking for relevant stories for that day. So if you're looking to get on television, local news TV stations, they're going to pick stories that are happening right now, that are timely, that's something that's going on across the nation or in your local community. An easy way to do this is to create Google alerts. Create a Google alert for anything that may be relevant to your brand, your topic, or your expertise. And if something hits and if something is a local news headline, you can then get with your publicist and they can work with you to create a pitch that will get you some media attention. On the publicist side of things, they're always looking for a story and something going on in the local community that they can pitch you as an expert or kind of craft a story to make you stand out. There are tons of ways that you can actually find requests that journalists are making and looking for people to talk knowledgeably about that topic. So you can use HARO, H-A-R-O, which is Help a Reporter Out. That is a wonderful outlet that you get tons of emails every single day about journalists across the country looking for different people to talk knowledgeably about all kinds of different subjects. You get an email in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and then you just reply to that inquiry and pitch your client, and hopefully you get them a spot secured. Another great place that you can find journalist requests or inquiries is Press Hunt. Press Hunt is a great place to also look for those. You can also subscribe to that or pay a fee to get access to requests that journalists are making, looking for those experts or people for their articles they're writing that very day. Another way that you can find journalist requests on a daily basis is social media. So if you go to Facebook, there are tons of places in your local community where journalists are maybe asking in groups, mom groups, community groups, for someone who's an expert or someone who can give an opinion about a topic that's happening in the news that day. And when it comes to social media, it's important to look for hashtags about the specific expertise your client is in or the specific area that they work in. You can just search those hashtags on Facebook and even Instagram, and you might find a reporter looking for that. Another important thing to do is to follow reporters and journalists that live in the area of your client. So say your client lives in St. Louis, Missouri. You want to find reporters that live in St. Louis, Missouri. Maybe follow them on social media. Start looking at what they're looking for. Sometimes they'll ask for requests on Twitter. Sometimes they'll ask for requests on Instagram. Just staying in the know and just being aware of what's happening in the community for the client will help them get so much more media. When you're pitching for your client, it's so incredibly important to be aware and acknowledge who you are pitching to. You want to make sure that their brand aligns with the publication that you're actually pitching towards. So an example would be if you have someone who is an expert in cryptocurrency, you want to make sure that you pitch their story about cryptocurrency to maybe a tech or a business magazine. If this client who's in cryptocurrency comes from an entrepreneurial background, you can pitch them specifically to entrepreneurship magazines, but that's a different kind of story with the same client. You want to make sure when you do pitch for your clients that you're aligning yourself with the types of publications and the reporters that are working at those specific publications. There are all kinds of different reporters working at these different outlets covering different parts of the field. You want to make sure you find the person that is specific to your client's niche to make sure that they get the media coverage that you're looking for. Now, the benefits of aligning yourself with different media brands and media outlets is that you can really be specific when you're looking for certain kind of coverage for your client. So each client has a different set of stories. It's whether they're selling a product, whether they have an expertise they're selling, but there's all kinds of different stories within the clientele. And then you can find that with different sorts of media coverage. Now, of course, there's different publications and different outlets that will cover this specific client. So you want to make sure you're on target and connecting with the correct person you want to talk to. So an example would be if you're working with a chef and they're an expert chef, but they're also an entrepreneur because they started their own business from scratch. They can be targeted towards entrepreneurship magazines, but also target the food industry. So